All right, everybody, what is going on? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. And today is the big day. That's right. The NFL schedule release will hit later today. Apparently, about 5 p.m., the NFL will be pushing out full schedules for every team. And I know we're all very excited about that. I know we're all very enthusiastic to see how things break down. And of course, I will be covering it as much as I can on this channel. So let's talk a little bit about today. Like I said, apparently the schedules come out at 5 p.m. And I believe that's been the case for years now. So no reason to suspect this being any different in the first place. This video is sponsored by PrizePicks. And we have this tweet here from Softy, who has heard some stuff. And some of the stuff he said has been confirmed by other sources. Some of it has not. But it still really isn't all that much information. We don't necessarily have a lot of things new here, but it's more than anybody else has. So we'll look at this tweet from Softy, and we'll see how much of it ends up being right later in the day. But he does have a few things that are fairly concrete here, and you can see the stage being set here. You've got, we know, the opener against New England. That is the one game we know for 100% sure. We open the season Wednesday Night Football at home against New England. And apparently on Christmas Day, I'm assuming that would be a primetime game because it'll probably be the only game on at that time. Christmas Day versus the Rams at home. So that is a late season home matchup against the LA Rams. So that is the other game that has seemingly been confirmed for the Seattle Seahawks. So right now we know 2 games, assuming the Christmas Day thing is correct, which I have not seen that from a bunch of other places yet, but my understanding is that it is relatively assumed to be the case. Now, he has a little bit more information as well here. He's got 6 primetime games, including Monday Night Football games against the Bears and the Cowboys. So he doesn't have a date, he doesn't have a week, but he does, according to his sources anyway, according to what he's heard, have Monday night home games against the Bears and Cowboys, which, if you believe that playing on primetime football is good for the team, especially for a home game where you'd figure the crowd would show up a little bit more, then it's kind of good that we're getting 2 of the more interesting games in Monday night, right? Especially the Bears. I don't know if Dallas will be good or not, but I do believe Dallas will be interesting. And the final thing that Softy offered up was that the Seahawks are going to play in LA against the Rams in week 18. Now, if you do the math, you realize that that means, if that is true, they play the Rams the last week of the season. That means they play them twice. I'm sorry, they play them twice, basically right next to each other. Basically, if you do the calculations here, it sounds like it's going to be Christmas against the Rams at home, week 17 against X, and then week 18 in LA against the Rams. So you have 2 games in 3 weeks against the Rams if you do the calculations there, and that could be that could be really interesting. It's always interesting to play the same team twice in a very short period of time. And by the way, if both teams make the playoffs, which does seem fairly likely right now, then you may end up playing them 3 times in a month, which that would introduce some really interesting variables, right? It would be really hard to beat the same team 3 times in a month. So if you're the team that wins those first 2 games, you might not be feeling great about that third one, so kind of funky. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the PrizePicks app, where it always feels good to be right. PrizePicks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. PrizePicks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. PrizePicks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on PrizePicks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about team picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. So we'll see how much of this ends up coming to pass, but it's a fairly compelling slate, right? There's a real opportunity here for the Seahawks to basically have everything settled about their season in those last two games against the Rams that may end up spilling into a third matchup. But not surprising that the NFL would do it that way. I think we've seen this with the fact that they're having us open against New England. The NFL wants their most compelling games to happen closer to the end of the season rather than early, it seems like, which makes sense on some level. On the other hand of it, I think there's also something to be said for wanting the first game of the year to be as compelling as possible. Nevertheless, we will see exactly what comes out later today, but here's my plan. I know that there are probably going to be more leaks between now and the full release, and I'm not going to be able to talk about all of them. I don't want to sit here all day and make a new video every time we get a new story about the Seahawks are playing X at Y date and not even know for sure if the report is true, because sometimes you get it from a source you don't totally trust, and sometimes you get it from one you mostly trust, but you know they can still get things wrong, etc., etc. So what's going to happen, I think, is I'm going to do what I can to avoid the leaks. I probably won't be able to avoid it completely. That's very, very difficult to do with the way just social media and the internet works now. But I'm going to do what I can to avoid any schedule leaks beyond what we already have. Because what we already have is fairly thin. We know the opener, we might know the Christmas Day game, and we might know the last game of the year. But I'm going to do what I can to avoid any further leaks today. There's going to be another video later today in the afternoon, I think, that has nothing to do with the schedule. I kind of want to do a follow-up to yesterday's video, the morning video I did yesterday. And then at 5, what I plan on doing is getting on here, just turning the recorder on and pulling up the schedule. So when I look at the schedule later today at about 5, it'll be the first time I've seen it, and it'll be a completely organic and authentic reaction to information I did not previously have. So basically, I want to capture that initial snap reaction to however the schedule lays out. And hopefully I'm able to actually get through the day without seeing the schedule. Well, again, I'm going to try to do this right at 5, so that way there's no opportunity for me to accidentally see it. And I'm going to try to get the video up as soon as I can after I see it. But at the same time, obviously, you got to record the video, then you got to upload the video, etc., etc. I guess I could do it as a live stream, but I'm not a huge fan of that, not really big into that kind of stuff. So what I'm probably going to do is just record it and then post it. And then after I get that schedule video up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video on the schedule for Bleacher Report. So if you follow me over there, keep an eye out on the Bleacher Report app. And if you don't follow me over there, you should go ahead and give me a follow over on the Bleacher Report app, Seahawks BN. I post several videos a week, and I will be posting one that should be going live either late Thursday night or early Friday morning. But I'll be putting that video together right after the YouTube video. And then after that, I might do something where I go live over on YouTube to talk about the schedule a little bit more. I don't want the initial reaction to be on stream, but I may do a stream in the evening to talk about it for about an hour just to see how people are feeling and to get a sense of things. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of other Seahawks creators that are doing streams right at 5, right when the schedule drops. So I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do it right when the schedule drops, because then you're competing with every other Seahawks creator. I kind of want to wait a little bit so that way the field thins out a little bit and there's a little bit less competition, and you are more likely to be able to also kind of really think out what you think of the schedule rather than just having the snap reaction. And then tomorrow, sometime on Friday, I will probably, not sure, but probably do a stream with Brandon of the Hawks Nest to talk a little bit about the schedule from our joint perspectives. So hope to see you guys there for that. But that is the plan. All right, so keep an eye out for a video later today that will have nothing to do with the schedule. If we get any major leaks later today before 5, I might make a video about it just because, I mean, there's no point in me pretending I didn't see something if I did see it. But I'm going to do what I can to stave off the leaks and just hope it works out. All right, so let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. That's what we know. That's what we got. Everyone have a good rest of your day, and we'll see who we play and when we play them. All right, see you later. Go Hawks.